Howdy everyone, Nimby here. Just gonna be doing up some bloodsuckers again. Get them up to a nice round number. See if we can get to 10 or 12 or so. Just getting things set up here, just be a moment. There we go, that should do. Okay, so we're just gonna start off with uni. Oop, lost my thread. 1 second. Am I doing 8-aught or 6-aught here? 6-aught. Uni 6-aught in black. On a standard tying thread. And of course it wants to be fussy. There we go. And we're just gonna start at about a bobbin width back from the head, make a nice thread base. Right down to where the barb would be. Being this is barbless, there's not one there. Okay, we're just gonna cut off our tag end. That'll work. And for our tail, we're going to start off with some this is poly yarn, so polypropylene. And this would be in a scarlet thread. So basically a blood red. So not quite a bright red, but it'll have a little bit of a, well, it's scarlet. Now it's a 2-strand yarn, we're just going to tie it right in. So we want it to be about 1/4 of the shank length. So it's sticking out basically about as far as our barb back. Nothing crazy. It's just basically a hotspot point. We're tied in right on top there. Skewer it in with about 3 or 4 wraps, and then we'll get our brush and fluff it out. I don't want to skewer it in too far back. That's good right there. So we don't want it to be laying on the curve and be pointing down. I want it out, out, straight out back. Okay, we're gonna snip that. I'm gonna leave my thread right at the barb point, and that's where we'll tie in our next bit. First, we're just gonna brush this out and fluff it up. Just using a little bristle brush. You can use whatever you want, even your fingernails. Hey Yoshi. Doing good, mate. Good morning to you. Have some iced tea. It's going good. It's a good morning. I'm just slow getting going. One of those mornings. But it's not a bad morning. It's just a slow morning. But you're good to have every once in a while, right? We got a dump of rain last night. Thankfully, it was rain and not snow. They were forecasting it to turn into snow, but it is nice and wet, so don't have to worry about dealing with that quite yet. Bought myself another few days. This top one here just doesn't want to brush out as well. Oh, that's good enough. That'll do. Yeah, we're just gonna be using where to drop it off to. Here we are. I'll use this guy. These are red cock on the rock. Especially if you're doing roof work, you don't want it. Salmon fly hen neck, cock on the rock in red. Really nice bright. I guess this would be more on a scarlet red color than a toro or like a brighter red. I'm going to take off these softer ones, and I'm actually going to put those aside. And I'll be using those for the beards. They just have a lot more flow to them, so I like them better for the beard section. I'm going to be walking this around the top. Basically wrapped around. You want to have basically for either side about your gap length. Just like that. I put just a hair more on my side of the hook than the other. Just adjusting that, I kind of bumped it. There we go. And we're just going to tie it in right alongside the tail there. One piece at the top there just kind of went all sideways on me. Try that again. I think I got some coil. Come on, buddy. Play along. Let's go. Me. Just doing the tail already running into twisty bits. Dude. Okay, maybe this piece is too soft. Grab another one here. We'll save you for beards. When I tie it in, it's just flaring too much. Which is another reason I pull some of that off. So we'll try that again with a little bit farther up the feather here. Just like that guy. Hey, thanks for the like, man. Always appreciate you stopping in. Well, there we go. Just gonna tie that in on this side of the. Man, I don't know if my fingers are just doing things or I don't know why I'm having so much trouble here. Sorry, man. Fight my tail. I'll be right with you. I don't know why it's being such a toot. Okay, there we go. I appreciate that. I'd catch you, but obviously I'm on here. I don't know why that's wrapping a little more than I want it to, but that's kind of what we're going for. We just want to cover the side and just a bit of the top with that wrap. The next wrap that we're doing on this side is just going to be on the side. And for this one, I'm just going to be grabbing just a hair bit less, so maybe more like half a or 3/4 of a gap length, because we're not gonna. This one's not gonna wrap over the top. You know, that felt infinitely better. There we go. You can see that there, how it just kind of caresses and goes right around the yarn like a little apron. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Now, if you're just tying these quick and dirty just to catch some fish, you can omit that whole step and just tie some yarn in and go at her. Toss my glasses on. I'm having so much trouble with placement this morning. Need more caffeine. Like I said, it's been been one of those slow morning. Not awake yet. All right. Oh, that's a 2 teabagger tea too, so hopefully that'll jolt me up here a bit. Now we're gonna bring this all the way up to our main tie-in point. And I think I'm just gonna stick with the. I think I'm just gonna. Hey, Valhal's in. Good to have you, mate. I'm just gonna stick with this red wire. I just like the look of it. Copper looks fine too, but I got the red, so I may as well get some red in there. Yeah, I just checked out those knives you made, Valhalla, for Robert. The spike knives, railway spike knives. Those are cool. They got a really nice belly on them, and little, and a good sized gut hook. I don't like big gut hooks like that. Like that's just nice, small, and you can use it for getting in a fish or cleaning small game or something. You did a good job on those. Next time I see Robert stopping, I'll have to ask him if he likes the single twist or double twist more on the handle. I'm kind of curious which one would, sit better in your hand. Yeah, no, honestly, I think most people oversize their knives. Like, in my personal opinion, I don't really think you need anything bigger, um, bigger like than across your hand, right? But, and that's what those are like, in my opinion, almost a perfect size blade. Unless you're doing some real heavy cutting up for like beef or elk or moose or something where you got to go through a hind quarter, you don't need the length. It generally just gets in the way. And it's easier to carry something that small, right? You can have that in your side pocket, your back pocket, neck knife, Yeah, for sure. Okay, got that wrapped in there. I don't know if I got enough. Oh yeah, this will work. Okay. Yeah, I just watched it this morning. I was just doing that. That was red ultra wire that we just tied in. And we're using this black chenille. This is a vintage chenille. Actually, I had no idea it was a vintage chenille until I started tying with it. But, yeah. Well, that's true, yeah. They were commenting on the weight on them. But I just mean, like, overall, like, the size, like, utility-wise, you can carry it, store it, and use it in a lot more places than you could, something like a K-bar or what have you. But again, that's just my personal preference. Everyone's got their preference on blade size. I like the small hand pocket size. It's rarely a case where I've run into where I needed something bigger. And the other thing I firmly believe in too is the knife that you'll carry with you every day is a knife you'll use a lot more often. So if it's more convenient, you'll get a lot more use out of it. Yeah, like I said, everyone's got their flavor, right? To me, a K-bar is like something I'd use to break a bead on a tire with or something. Like, they're huge for my standard. Now, my father-in-law, he liked his big knives. He had lots of big Bowie knives. And it depends on where you grow up and what you can use them in too, right? Like if you're in an area where you can hack brush and you can use it to, or like in Arizona where everything's spiky and wanting to poke you and bite you and poison you, then having a longer knife is more useful. There we go. Although there's other ways to, carry and toggle your knife. I find anything over like 6 inches is hard for me to carry on my hip without it digging into stuff or getting caught on things if I'm bending down or whatever. But personal preference. Just trying to see where I put my Okay, 1 second. I thought I had some hackle out here. Guess I didn't. And since it's been working so well for me, I'm just going to keep using this good hackle, even though I could dig into my junkier hackle for this, because we're just going to be trimming it off. Here's this. I know it's not going to be in focus, but this beautiful long cape. It just has this really nice, like, honey color. There we go. Okay. These have been taking up more hackle length than I thought they would. Yeah, I do. I like them for dragonflies, grasshoppers. I don't do as much minnow stuff as I probably should. Not that they don't work around here, it's just not my fishing style. Anything I do minnow wise generally is more for like whitefish and that kind of thing. But I'll tie almost anything, just for kicks and giggles. Yeah, I gotta dig into my foam stuff and start getting into that too. Can punch out some cylinders, do booby eyes, do ant bodies. They work pretty good. Okay, let's see here. One second here. Yeah, everyone gets a kick out of the boobies. Alright, let's not break or anything this time, eh? I think I'm gonna tie in my beard after I get this wrapped in this time. It's less chance of clipping it off by mistake. Oh no. I feel like that these are when I start tying this in, it always feels like I got more hackle than I'm gonna need by a long shot, but It sucks the hackle up, that's for sure. I need to make... I have, unfortunately. I never did catch up with the people. Tried to. Actually, like cavefish, I got it on film too. I was actually filming while I was walking. I was actually walking back from the fishing spot along the lake, and they were on the other side of the lake, shooting back towards me. And they were skipping it along the water. I had no idea if they could see me or not, but I tried to make as much noise as I could to let them know I was there. Either way, they shouldn't be shooting across. Oh, yeah, oh, let's try that again. My bad. Wasn't paying attention. Snapped it. Yeah, they were shooting across the water, skipping the bullets, and they were bouncing up and hitting the bank in front of me and stuff. Alright, gonna have to be careful with this one. Broke the tip off, so it'll be a hair shorter this time. Come on, buddy. I'm trying to grip it lightly so I can use that last bit, but might not be able to. The worst part of the whole thing is I had kids with me at the time too. I was not impressed. And there's a proper shooting range just maybe a kilometer or two down the road from there, so like they had no reason to be shooting where they were. Really? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna switch hackle pliers. This one's clearly not working on me. Yeah, I should have too. Didn't get to it. I hear you. Yeah, get your stuff done before the rain hits, if you can do it. I'll be here tomorrow. Maybe even later today. Yeah, tell me about it. It didn't get light here, and it feels like it's getting dark quick, but I know it's only 5 or 10 minutes a day kind of thing, but it feels like it's a lot more every day, especially with the time change. I really hope they get rid of the time change at some point. I really have no use for it. Yeah, see you. Thanks for stopping in, mate. Always good to have you in. Probably should have just used this hackle plier to start with. Not that there's anything wrong with the other one. Try and not trap as many this time. Generally not really a big deal. being way too finicky for a fly that's gonna get all cut up anyway. But that's what I do. There, that polymered wire will hold that all in there nice. 1 second, I just got 2 fronds there that are... Really? Come on now. Is my thread on them? Oh, my thread's on them. Okay, there we go. That's better. Beauty. Alright, we made it. Oh, buddy, you're gonna get clipped out of there. You keep acting up like that. Yeah, just gonna secure it in with a couple wraps. I like to at least double wrap my wire. So when you're helicoptering it out, you're not loosening your wrap up. Because all it's holding it in there is just the weight of your bobbin. Okay, I think I got enough there for another fly. Yeah, let's get this cleaned up. Or I guess the opposite of cleaned up, we're gonna get it. Cool. Alright. So I'm going to, I'll just do some half hitches first here. Because I'll be spinning this around so our thread doesn't go all cattywampus on us. And we'll pop the bobbin up in the bobbin holder so it can be out of the way. Less chance of me cutting my thread. And we'll start with a haircut. See how much of it gets into our wastebasket. It's almost like trimming deer hair, but you don't end up with as pretty an outcome. I guess it's in the eye of the beholder, right? If the fish thinks it's tasty, who's to say it's not pretty? Yeah, that's the idea. You want it all get out and buggy. Yeah, I'll do this on the last one, but for whatever reason, I just want to see if I brush this. Hey, yeah, there we go. Just felt like if I brushed it out, I would get a few of those. I can see a few hiding in the fluff there, so there we go. Not that that's going to make a difference at all, but I don't think these would be stiff enough to cut with a razor blade. I mean, they look pretty, yeah, they got some stiffness to them, but there we go. Okay, now we're gonna throw in that beard now. I'm trying to use some of these bits I've been tossing off. Just gonna use the stacker here. So you guys can see him there. There you go. There. I wonder if it's maybe the moisture from all the rain. All my materials just don't seem to want to play ball today. There we go. Give it a nice red shuck right under the chin there. Come on, buddy. Don't roll over on me. Really? Thanks. If I can get it to... Come on. Dude, why are you being so fussy? I don't know, maybe it's all the rain that we got. The extra humidity. This does not want to play ball. I normally chalk it up to just one feather being a bit of a toot, but same materials I was using yesterday, and it's this. They're just fighting me. Could be me though. Could have nothing to do with the material. It's just a hair longer than I'd like it to be. Let's see if we can shorten it up. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Dude, even my scissors. No, it's hard for me to explain. It's like they're not. It's not like a static problem. They're just not. They don't want to stick to each other. Just gonna bury this end in here a little bit. Careful not to get too much on there. There we go. That's a nice little red shut of a beard, eh? I like that. That's good placement too. I'm gonna switch up the song. I'm not really in the mood for the Spanish stuff today. There we go. That's a little better. Oh, okay. Get some half hitches and whip finish on that. Get another one in there. Actually, let's just build that head up a little bit first. Just give it a little more bulbous, round appearance. So I got one fiber right in the front there too. It's a benefit and a downside to having the camera zoomed in as far as it is and like macroed. I can see all the mistakes and little tiny things, but that's also the problem. I can see all the mistakes and tiny things I couldn't normally see. Yeah, if that's the kind of thing you're worried about improving in your tying, do macro photography or filming, one or the other. They will force you to clean everything right up. And we just put on some head cement. We're just gonna get that soak in here for a second. And I'm just gonna rotate that for a minute here. I'll just let that soak in a little bit here, and then I'll add some Sally Hansen's on top. There, that gave us a nice little shiny bead head on there. I like that. Just gonna rotate that for a minute here. So you don't have to fly tie to watch and enjoy it. Heck, most of the things people watch and enjoy don't do. Morning. I guess we're coming almost to afternoon already. Man, it looks cold and wet outside. That's okay, I'm sure the pole appreciates it. Alright, there we go, number 2. It should be dry enough that we can let it finish off in here. One sec, didn't quite get that hook in there right. A little off. That's better. Yeah, that's a nice straight hook. If I had $1 for every time I had to fix an autocorrect typo. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw a thread base all the way to the back here. And we're gonna end it just right at the barb there. Oh. Yeah, always be thankful for another day. Where did I put my yarn? There we are. Hey, again, scarlet yarn. Tie her in right about there. Hair long, just gonna adjust that. Yeah, that's a little better. Still, that's a little better there. Yeah, hopefully you can go fishing this weekend. Best to get it in there. Yeah, that's true. I guess you could stream your fishing. If you got cell service, that's my problem. Up here in Canada, we really don't have cell service at most good fishing lakes. The river bottoms I can though. I've done a few fishing streams when I'm low enough in the valley that there's actually cell service. There you go, that's super important too. Thanks for reminding me, I meant to call my dad today. See how he's been. He's been rebuilding a 49 Willys Jeep that we've had ever since I was born. And it's there you go. You gotta remember, everyone started off with almost no subscribers, right? That's how you get them. But like you said, that kind of thing, if you want to keep it to the family, is I fully understand. So we're gonna go with a gap length. Just gonna throw a couple more fronds just lower there, just kind of missed it. Being a little picky, but let's try and get it right. That's better. That's very true. It is a lot of effort. Yeah, so this one's going to be just about 3/4 of a gap length, so slightly smaller than the other one because the other one will wrap up top. There we go. I probably got way too fussy with that than I needed to, but that's just fine. It's a happy little tail. Man, I don't know what it is with the materials today. They're just not wanna. Yeah, I agree. Fresh milk's good. Just gonna brush this out a little bit here. Finally kind of got it where I wanted it, but yeah, there we go. That's okay, I'm happy with that. Must be a moisture static thing or something, but my materials are just all get out wacky. Except for you, red wire. I'm sure you're exactly the way you always are. Red uni. This isn't uni, sorry. Ultra wire. And small. Just long enough to fit my material clip there. That was good. Yeah, thanks for sticking around, mate. Good luck in your stream today. Always a pleasure to have you in. I'm not sure who that's gonna be close. I'll save this bit for another one. Grab some more off of here. So just black. This stuff's interesting. It's an older vintage chenille. And at one point, 70s-ish, they gilded them with like aluminum wire. So it's almost like on the edge of a pipe cleaner. They're durable as all get out, though. I'll give them that. Okay, let's go with half hitch. Okay, that's good. grab a beautiful these saddle hackles. I'll grab you two there. There we go. Boop. Decided to grab two so I don't have to go and dig one out next time. We're just gonna strip off fluff. And I think I'll throw a red beard on this one too. Come on, buddy. Really? Sorry, it's not biting. There we go. I'm gonna throw some, where's my wax? No, this is rosin, not wax, but... I'll stop it from slipping. Another nice thing about the rosin is the acetone and the head cement will soften it up and melt it into the threads after, give you a nice secure head as well. Okay, let's see if we have better luck with these pliers this time. Yeah, liking that first wrap. That's nice. That's gonna brush out good. I've never tried it, but I bet these would fish just as well with the hackle left the way it is. But actually, I'm gonna spread that last wrap out a bit. So we can get right to the back here. See if I can get one more wrap in there. It's leaving kind of a bare spot. Yeah, we could do that. There we go. not sure this would really be easier to do rotary. I just thought about that. I could rotary this, but I don't think it makes much difference one way or the other. And I'm gonna grab some hackle pliers here, though I'm getting short. There we go. Okay, we're just gonna helicopter that out. Got a few fronds in there I can clean up, but that's not crazy. Okay. Just cleaning this up a little bit. Getting that head shape nice. There we go. It's a little more bulbous. I like that. All these nice thick head. Okay, whip finish. Do do do. Hey, Doug. Good to have you, mate. It's going good. Yeah, for sure. I didn't trim this one. Decided to leave this one long, but those will be your classic trimmed. Just gotta rotate this for a minute or so to get that head harden up a little bit before I put her in. Yeah, just a regular blood-sucking leech. I think she's hardened up enough I can put her in here. Yeah. It hurts part of my heart when I have to trim them when you get beautiful hackle like that. But I'm tying up like the traditional pattern and that calls for trimming. Yeah, part of me just goes, ugh, But I guess there's merit to it or they wouldn't have done it. Yeah, very much so. And it's close to a lot of different flies, like basically kind of like a short-tailed woolly bugger. It must be all the rain we had last night, because my materials are just acting up today. I can't really put my finger on it. It's not like the dry static that's just like, they don't want to be next to each other. They don't want to sit in the right spot. It's all good getting it done, but it's like a fight and everything. Not really sure why. That's just poly yarn. I'm just brushing her out here. That's just a 2-strand poly yarn. Doesn't even want to brush out. There we go. Yeah. Well, it's like right around freezing. I mean, maybe +1. And we got a huge dump of rain last night. I'm very thankful it was slightly above freezing, or it would have been a lot of snow. Okay, let's do... Yeah, I'll stick with the red wire. I've been enjoying that. Sometimes it's a pain to get these out of here without the whole spool going spring. Well, getting down to the last row, I can see the plastic under there. Still got a good bit left though. Yeah, just pop it up in the material clip. Yeah, it should be enough. $60, wow. Yeah, I think I haven't checked if we've broken any records one way or the other, but it feels like a fairly normal temperature up here anyway. I mean, consider whatever you want to consider normal, like normal as far as my lifetime goes, but not counting the last kind of 5 messed up years. It feels like the seasons are moving south, like spring's elongating into summer and winter's elongating into spring, and it's taking longer for kind of full winter to hit. But that's just the way it feels. I don't know if it's actually doing that. Really enjoying this kind of vintage chenille. It's like, as you can tell, it's like stiff. It's almost like, really, a 20-degree difference. That's a big difference. Okay, let's get some... Where'd my feather go? There it is. I'm just gonna strip the fluff off this guy. Just a regular saddle hackle. That's what it feels like, eh? It feels like our spring and our falls are kind of dropping off and it's just going summer, psych, it's not summer, winter. Yeah, I think the farmers and people that raise animals would know the best because they have to. Yeah, exactly like a pipe cleaner. It's old ones from like the late 60s, 70s. They used to run back when aluminum was the thing, like with aluminum wiring. They used to run a gilded aluminum wire in the middle of it. So it's not quite like a pipe cleaner because it's still like exceedingly flexible. But it has a little stiffness to it. You see, it's still like very flexible. But they didn't make them like that for too long. Just like aluminum wiring and housing. Ironically, this aluminum Thompson's, I don't know if you can see I get light at the right angle. There you go. You can see the lettering inside. Thompson's hackle pliers, also out of aluminum. And they come from about the same period, give or take, 60s, 70s. There we be. I'm just gonna catch that in with the red wire there. 1 second, I'll get right to the chat here. So I get this in. Good to have you in, mate. Yeah, my apples are still on my tree, which is crazy. I don't know why they're not falling. I'm leaving a good chunk of them on there for the squirrels and animals. But yeah, they should be on the ground by now. There's always one, isn't there? There's one hair, or one frond that's just. Oh, now there's a bunch. Come on. Behave yourself. Probably could have stripped that hackle back a few more fronds more than I did. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's one of those things you have like zero impact on, so there's nothing you can do about it one way or the other. You know, that might not be a bad theory, because the solar winds have been kicking up like crazy. I know that from my CB radio and stuff. The last few years have been crazy good for skip, and this year alone it's not been that great, but solar activity's been a bit on the nut bar side. Just gonna make that a little rounder. I think we got her. Well, if we have a longer, wetter winter, I won't have to worry about forest fires as much either. Okay, let's bust this out of here. No worries. Good to have you back. Gotta trim down this butt section here a bit. One or two fronds that are just going a bit too far back. There you go. I decided to do a couple up, just like he said, more of just a red tag. Long hackle. I like that. That's good. Makes me happy. I'll do a little head cement. And a little bit of Sally Hansen's after. $50 amp. Yeah, foot warmer. I got a Wilson I think it's a Wilson 1000. I think I got that on my the mag mount on my truck. I think it's actually on my trailer right now, but yeah, I live outside of cell service, so they come in handy. Thank you. She's messy, but she's messy in a tidy way. Oh, hey, Ziggy, didn't see it pop in there. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do up some more traditional leech patterns. This is just an old school leech pattern. But yeah, the rabbit just gives it a lot more movement in the water, especially if you get like zonker strip and a little bit of black red dubbing in there, and the orange. What's the term they use for it now? For that red or orange or pink bead up front. Blood sucking leech, I guess. Yeah, I like to have like, not a whole lot, 2 or 3 kind of strands of some flashaboo or something in there, or some crinkle flash or something. Just give it a little bit of, punch, a little traction. Yeah, like a loop with the loop knot. Yeah, for sure. Especially with the these like these style eyes work well with that. Yeah, the farthest I've gotten is Australia, just on a regular 5 watt. Um, almost didn't believe the guy, but yeah, I just picked up some guy, and it was just like he was just down the road from me or something. We talked for about 10-15 minutes, and then poop, he was gone. Never got him again. Well, that's the way skip goes, right? Oh, yeah, these are some of the ones I did yesterday. Got some of these brown nymphs. They've been just hitting it off. They're just like a simple brown synthetic nymph, but whatever reason they've been hitting really good. Got some gross ones, some sunsets, and Black O'Leary, Black O'Lindsay's. That was my yesterday's go, or actually 2 days ago now. But yeah, if you like flies, feel free to drop and subscribe and join us. I'm generally in here most days. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, accusations, just shoot them in the chat. I'm gonna wrap up here though, because I want to grab some lunch, and I'm just gonna sit here, and if anyone has anything to chat about, I'll finish my tea up. Yeah, I mean, that's really what I enjoy about the CB radio is, one, like, not needing to have a license. Thanks. Hey, Yoshi. Good to see you and still. Yeah, the ones from the Peacock are the Black Lindsay's. They're a lot like an Alexandria, which I do actually have to tie. Maybe we'll do that. I think that's actually coming up next week here. Let's see if it's on here. Maybe 2 weeks from now, I'll be hitting those up. Yeah, I give about 2 weeks. Yeah, enjoy CB. I got it's just a 29 channel right now, but it's what model is it? 1 second. Can't read it from here. Oh, right, yeah, just, standard home base Cobra 29. I don't have single sideband on that one. I got a, it'd be nice if I had a single sideband so I could do the upper and lower sidebands for, because most people hang out around channel like 35, 38. Lower sideband, I think. But I still get a lot of, I get one guy that I talk to somewhat frequently in Hawaii that he skips over here fairly commonly on channel 7. Unfortunately, even though I got a pretty decent, yeah, it's it's not as anywhere as busy as it used to be, and like you can obviously get like the Super Bowl, channel 6 and all that going, and you get the Mexican, Spanish guys on channel 9 all the time. It's a fun hobby though. I definitely get better reception in my vehicle, even though I got a nice base station and a proper what is it now? It's not an Antron. Is it a Moonraker? Anyway, a decent base antenna and a new decent base antenna setup for it. But I live in kind of like a creek valley bottom, and it's basically rock on either side of me, so my signal's horrible at the best time. But I still get skip coming in if it comes up and down the valley, and then that direction I can get it pretty good. But if I drive like even half a mile away, I can get way better reception in my truck than I can off the base station. Unfortunately, I just can't change where my house is located. So, but yeah, it's fun with the mobile stuff, and I find it entertaining, like to have a low wattage, low powered unit and be able to pick up and send out and still get good skip. It's more fun for me than like if I had like a 500 watt amp or something. Some guys are crazy. Some guys have like some of the home base setups that they have are like the wattage that they can push out, especially in the States. Not that it's legal or anything, but it's fun stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you have a set, just yeah, next whenever you're bored or it's a rainy day, pop it up. Maybe not on a rainy day. Yeah, 80 millimeter. I'd like to get into amateur. I don't have my license, but it's always something I've been interested in. But given where I live and all that, it wouldn't be worth setting up an antenna here just because the signal is going to be so poor. It's not going to go through rock. I have a ham radio relay antenna not that far from me, but it's like just one mountain range over. But since I have, a kilometer of rock between me and it, even though I can basically, see the thing almost, I can't get to it. But if I'm in my vehicle, that's a different story because then I can drive around and get sight to it, and then I can relay from that station to pretty much anywhere. Yeah, I don't think other than creating my Twitter account, I don't think I've ever logged into it after then creating it. But yeah, thanks for the extra Twitter follow. I don't think I'll ever use it. But if I do, you'll know. You and maybe 2 other people. Okay, guys, I'm done my tea, done my tying for the day. I appreciate everyone hanging out with me. Thanks for hanging out, Doug. Yoshi, if you're still there, good to have you in, mate. Good to have you in too, Ziggy. Yeah, like I said, if I was in a slightly different location, I'd probably put some more effort into it. But I know with the way my CB works, um, just translating that out to, I know I could get out farther on a ham radio, but it's not going to be a fun experience. So I'm just happy to pick up the people I pick up on the CB, and I don't have to worry about a license or anything, and I can run it on a car battery. Not that I couldn't run a ham radio on a car battery, but it's good for safety stuff and picking up info. Yep, have a good day, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it.